Sorry. I was thinking and then I forgot. You all were about to leave Orviv, and as you did, you heard like the sound of chains behind you. You turned around, and there was this huge barbed devil dragging something behind it that looked like a a body. You uh, defeated the devil and its imps, and yeah, it had imps. And you, I was gonna say aroused, wrong word, roused the body, and to discover it was a Githari uh, person, um, uh, named Gam. Uh, he didn't really have much to say. He looked pretty shaken by everything uh, going on. Um, but he was dressed in a strange way, and he described uh, the. You asked him about the brother of the Timeless Knight and slash Order of Curiel, and he just um, didn't know much about it, but he said that at one point while his people were crossing through the their nomadic, and as they were crossing through, they had seen some sort of camp where people were working. He described them as the people working as weak, and wasn't sure why they chose little people to help build. Um, but yeah, and you kind of discovered that they seem to be the Gizari seem to be kind of in the northwest area of Ivris. All right, and yeah, and then we ended it for the night because DM got tired. All right.
So this Githzerai is still traveling with us.
You did I think they did say that they did not feel safe and requested to travel with you until they could contact their um find out what happened to their family.
You guys gotta take the lead here. I don't know what plot hook we're chasing.
Oh yeah, we're heading towards the we're still on our way towards the peaks, the mountains with the snow, and the keep that we're looking for, I guess.
Are these guys on the way to it?
Not this one. They're tagging along, basically since the other direction was where the chain devils probably came from.
Yeah, you're not quite sure. Like, so I believe where it ended was kind of you woke up, um, this thing that appears to be Gam, and he filled you in a little bit. They seem very like shaken by what's happened. Yeah, it's but I believe you guys were trying to decide where you wanted to go. It, and you're going to try and find red the red keep.
Yeah, I think we'd more or less decided that that's where we're going next. Unless anyone has other ideas.
No, we can drag these guys along. It's fine with me.
Kuroka's kind of curious to like try to jog their memory because it seems like they remembered something about Brother of the Timeless Knight.
Yeah. Yeah. So they are going to join your party for the time being. seems they don't seem weak. They don't seem like a commoner. Though they are strangely dressed in a way that you have never seen. And there's something very different about them. Though your characters are not sure what exactly that is. As to metagame, like, you may know why if you're familiar with Gazari, but you know, for your characters, this is the first time they've ever seen anything like this. Oh yeah, and Yurik is a fellow of Moradin now.
You found a new god?
Same
it's the
god,
same one, that's right.
Moradin. Yeah.
You got a hammer now, though, right?
Yeah, he got a hammer, and I don't know if Anthony told everyone, but he's in the short running for like champion of Moradin or something, like a guide, a guardian on behalf of Moradin, but he didn't reveal much more than that. What happened? All right.
Congrats, Yurik. Good job, bud.
Yurik passes out from drink immediately. All right.
And I suppose we just keep heading to the peaks. And we do
Yeah.
that.
So everyone roll a survival check.
I think we decided as well that I'm leading, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, as the five of you, I guess now it's five, sort of review the direction that you were coming from, you decide to head towards the peaks. Do you have any idea of what you're going to be doing to try and find it, or
To find the peaks?
to find the peaks, to find the keep? What are do you guys have any plans? Or are you gonna travel these mountains thoroughly? Or
I guess I don't remember who it was that gave us the directions to this place, and I don't remember how specific they were. So I guess I suppose we should try to find a village. Maybe one of these roads leads to a village, and we can ask locals if they're familiar with a place with a similar description.
Birchfruit, roll a history check.
History.
Okay, that's pretty good. Something familiar comes to mind that when you were traveling through before, you never how dare you? You had trouble.
You should see the 8 attempts they made at putting the song out.
It's
music
because
channel.
during the games, during his games, every time the bard casts, what is it? Dissonant Whispers. I play this.
That is very dissonant whispers for sure.
I'm a better bard than Jem.
Alright, I'll hunt down a real song now while we're talking.
Okay. So you, Bertrude, with you going to be the leader, you sit and think if you saw any towns or any little stops on the way. You remember that weren't really any trading posts that you from the way that you came, which was pretty much directly through
I
the
mean, while
Baron.
we're heading towards the like a remote mountain village in the peaks.
I'm not done. I'm not
Okay.
done. There weren't any from the trail that you took, but there were traveling, again, nomadic types of people that you could possibly run into. Yeah. So, that's just from your history check, and I will keep in mind that you're going to look for villages and village as you move.
Okay,
So,
In that
yeah.
case, we'll either look for a village, or if we see other travelers on the road, we'll flag him down.
Yeah, and being that you have traveled through part of this, depending on where you go, you might get some benefits of traveling through here before, just depending on the way that you would like to take this. Let me pull you guys back to... Okay. Alright, so, the way that you all came, you, went from here to here. Obviously, it was only 11 feet. Through here, and then, you ended up out the other side of here. And then you traveled all the way over there. It took you, I believe, like 2 weeks to do this. Over 2 weeks, so it took you quite some time to do that way. Obviously, you won't be going to Elysia. And it says a general word right there, but just ignore it. There's a capital city written on there. It's fine.
No, I
What's
thought that was the
wrong?
city we were looking for.
Yeah, but your characters would know.
Okay.
Would not know exactly where it is, though you can clearly see it.
Would
It's right there on the
yeah,
map,
we can see
guys.
it now.
We can see it there.
Would Brennick have known via like cryptic hints throughout sort of the stories that people tell of the Spoken, any sort of hint at where to go or what to look for in these mountains?
I will let you roll. I'll let you roll a history check as well, depending on, yeah, for that.
Nope, really bad.
You know what? Brennick kind of gets an idea of the area it's in, though not a specific direction.
Okay.
It's DC like DC 15 knowing a better circle, but I would imagine that Brennick is very well read and has taken the time to do that.
Cool. He's
yeah.
big old nerd is what you're trying to say.
And you're also not very far from Orviv. You haven't really left yet, so if you want to ask any more questions, it's kind of why I left you guys there at the end of last session.
Didn't we? People...
Yeah, we're not going
Wait,
back.
didn't people get murdered in Orviv?
Yeah, I thought we were kind of in a hurry to get out because of that.
They were definitely removed from their homes. You're not sure if anyone, the status.
Gotcha. Yeah. I can always sending the people that we met, but you know. I'm pretty good going forward. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you begin to gather your things and get moving. And yeah, it will. So Brennick, consulting your books and talking to your. I'm so sorry. This music's very loud, and I must quiet it.
You're good. I was
I
getting
know.
it to the correct one. I gotta learn how to manage the bot better.
Oh, cool. Yeah, no worries. I just, you know how it is.
Yep.
Um. So, as you consult, you took the night before. You were very quiet during the battle, because your book was open and your pen scrawling as you took notes. There's something in you that almost like is predisposition to find this little spot as you gather the maps of what you have, like, you know, pretty accurate mapping system.
Cool.
And as you look through the mountain range, and from what the three of you know about the Spoken and where you've traveled, you get the feeling if you came out through here, like around here somewhere, but it must be on the west side of the mountain, a place that you haven't
We have
traveled.
to be okay. So we should search the west side of the.
Yeah, we've been through sort of the
Mountain
east-ish
range.
a little bit, right? And then
Yeah, you sort of went through the east. You kind of ended up around here somewhere, and you didn't. You definitely know that Namboldar, the weird city you stopped at with the giant hole, that definitely wasn't what you were looking for, or maybe it is. You don't know. Yeah.
I guess while we're in the area, if Yurik wants to check in on that city sometime.
Yurik is like, yeah, definitely. I definitely think Morden would want me to do something with those people. They seem to really love Morden. Let's see. Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't know, because when we were in there, I didn't see any exits for any secret places. Did you?
Oh no, I mean just to check in with the temple.
Yeah, that sounds great. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what he wants to do.
Yeah, just maybe next week. Let's do that. But for now, in that case, we'll keep traveling west then. Right?
Yeah.
all right. Well, let's do it. And we
guess
begin
we'll-
traveling, I suppose.
Go south of the mountain range and then travel west. Would that make sense from where we are?
Yeah, we're at what? We're still at Orviv, but when we travel what, up the river and then down? That was the plan, or are we going on foot just in between the two? Do you want to go by boat? I'm assuming
Yeah, where's the map that has the smaller cities in it?
The circles?
we're like around here. Ooh. We're here. We're just
Okay,
heading this
so-
way. I'm assuming we're just going straight up in between the river and the mountains.
Oh, you know what? I was thinking west was east because my brain does that a lot.
I did it first
so
too.
we should just take the river.
Oh, I thought you meant like west, like taking the river area. Not, you know. I thought you meant. You know,
Yeah,
this
I
way.
was thinking west is here, right?
Yeah, we've been this
Yeah.
way. We came this way to sort of and try
Yeah,
and
you
rescue
kind of, like,
peeps.
Came out around there or something.
Yeah.
So let's do in between these
In that
two.
case, it probably would be sensible to travel along the river so we're not walking in snow, right?
In theory, but we're gonna have to go in the mountains somewhere. We just don't know where yet. So we need to be looking for sort of the general area. So I think we're good to go.
All right. And off you go. All right, so I'm definitely not going to make this a Horde of the Dragon Queen 60-day fun time. So who is keeping watch for the majority of the first night? We'll just do it that way.
I can do the first night.
Okay. And I mean, you get a long rest. I just want to say. Okay. Roll perception check for me. All right. About a day's travel from Orviv, sticking close to the riverbanks, but not traveling directly on the river. You set up camp and you sit, and as your companions fall asleep, you probably suspiciously stare at. I believe Kuroko was very skeptic of Gam. Yeah, cool, man.
That's how I love.
Yeah. You find yourself kind of looking over at him, then staring at the skyline, and the only thing that seems to catch your attention are some large beasts grazing very far away. Other than that, the first night passes freely.
Yeah, so just also, just so you guys all know, we passed the night very close together in my tiny hut. It's nice and warm. Nobody can sneak up on us unless they start digging underneath us, so we are relatively safe.
Would I be able to do a Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow around that? 30-foot radius sphere, so yeah, right?
Oh yeah, for sure, yeah. I don't know if magic effects pass through it, but maybe if you cast it first, then I cast it within it. I don't know how it works specifically, but we'll be pretty safe.
We get a +5 bonus to stealth and perception, so that's actually a 29.
Ooh.
And the light from open flames inside the sphere isn't visible outside it.
And we're also in a tiny hut.
Yeah, I mean you're in a tiny hut, so they they wouldn't be able to see that anyway. But yeah, you could cast that for sure.
Basically, we're super safe all the time.
Yeah, you're super aware as well. That's the big thing. Is let's see, the dome is immobile.
Yeah, I can't move it or anything, and I can't leave it once I go inside. So I have to do my night pee, and then I have to set it up first.
Oh. I can do this
Like
short or long rest apparently, so.
The outside is opaque of any color, but it is transparent on the inside. All right.
So I imagine it like a big
Spells
tinted
another.
dome, like a tinted window.
Spells and other magical effects can't pass the barrier of the dome on either end. So I would say if you cast it inside, you can't get the benefits if you're outside of it. And if you cast it on the outside and then go in the hut, if you're in the hut, you
Wouldn't benefit from
Oh
the
yeah, I could
perception.
cast that first. And it's
Yeah.
not technically a spell, so.
It's a magical effect. Which
Oh, I have
I
a
believe is also
tiny
But
hat.
yeah, I think we wouldn't probably
Yeah.
benefit from the perception if we're inside the hut, which it makes sense.
Yeah.
But we probably would
Yeah.
benefit from maybe the stealth, probably, but who knows?
yeah, with your stealth. Oh my god, toilet. Why?
It's a two-way mirror toilet in public. So on the inside you can see everyone while you're using it, and then on the outside it's just a shiny
Yeah,
glass.
pretty. That's actually pretty good.
Absolutely no thank you.
I'd do it.
No thank you.
I would
My
love
parents
to.
are in
You know how much
London,
of
I
a
should
power
tell them
move
about
it is to
this.
stare people as they walk past you while you're pooping? Man, wild.
That is pretty great.
Anyways, so we get through the night, hopefully.
Yeah. So basically, okay, just so we have the clear, if you do get a +5 bonus to stealth if you do the hearth on the outside and go inside. If you step out of there and you look like you would get the benefit of the perception and the stealth at the same time. If you're in the hut and you look around, unfortunately you don't get the +5 to perception. All right. Anyway, just so we're I forget immediately after I say
Oh
that.
yeah, for sure.
All right. So you pass the night without an issue. You're in the mirror toilet. Leomun's mirror toilet.
Yes.
And yeah, you're awake. Birch fruit, go ahead and roll a perception check. If a second person would like to, they can either roll their own check or assist Birch fruit.
Is this still during the rest or as we're traveling? There's-
As you wake up and as you're traveling. Sorry about that.
Birchfruit, are you proficient in like wisdom stuff? You're a druid, so I'd imagine. Are you proficient in perception or?
I've got a high modifier, but I'm not proficient in it.
Okay.
Still
Never
doesn't matter.
mind.
Okay, yeah.
Doesn't matter, got eyes.
You see everything. You see the plot, you see the reasons, you see the you see the my notes in front of me. So you you're on the second day of travel. You assume it's going to take you about, we'll say, actually let me look a little deeper at this. About 4 days, about 2 days to get to the mountain. You don't know how jagged the peaks are due to the fact that you traveled underground. But coming up, seeing them ahead of you, they look pretty jagged. You know, almost like the Swiss Alps, like very,
Right.
very sharp. And but you're keeping your eye out for any other travelers, specifically anyone who looks local. And as you hug the banks of the arching river, you see a town that looks about, I guess, I don't know how far people can see, I'm sorry. Maybe like a couple hours away, maybe even closer. And it looks like it's some sort of port city.
Cool, like a river dock. Let's
Yeah.
go say hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll point it out to the rest of the group. Let's say we head that way.
Yeah, that sounds good.
See what they know about this mysterious keep in the mountains.
Also, at this point, I think we should avoid talking to anybody we can unless we really need to, given the fact that everybody we talk to seems to go missing.
Also, let's make a note not to ask anybody what their name is.
I don't want to get attached.
This is about where the is.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you think it would help at all if we were disguised?
Perhaps.
I don't really know how you disguise a bird, so and Kuroka's not interested in disguise.
I mean, if you want to put some makeup on me, maybe a fake mustache would do. But I feel like we're pretty distinct.
I mean, if we are only sticking around for a couple hours there, I could just turn into an animal temporarily.
Sure, you can do like an Overwatch. That sounds fine. I think one of us can go talk to, gather information.
Yeah, I'll just be one of your two animal companions.
Sure, that'll throw them off the scent maybe a little bit. I don't think that's a bad idea for sure. I think it's a good idea.
So a human, a bird, a displacer beast, and then another animal.
It's just a big panther.
Let's see, we're level. What can I turn into?
You have
A warhorse.
yeah. Oh yeah, I'll ride you. We can ride you to town, and this could be my servant bird, right, Kuroka? I'm just kidding.
Kuroka does a little curtsy.
Oh,
He's down
okay,
with
perfect. I thought he was gonna punch me like he punched those giant sea creatures. Perfect.
What about our Githzerai friend here?
What about me?
Well, let's not mince words. You kind of stick out in a crowd, I think. A crowd of, People from this end of the island.
Yes, I would assume so. I do not look like any of you.
Do you have a way to disguise yourself?
would-
Maybe?
Prefer not to lie to people by changing my appearance.
That's... I guess that's fair. You know, actually, since our profile is a dragonborn, what are the bird people called?
Kenku.
Kenku.
A kenku, a halfling,
The short one.
yeah, and you know, a human bard. You know, throws all that out the window. So
It'll help for sure.
yeah,
I think you being an animal will be fine, and then we
that's fair enough. You just stay who you are. Be yourself. Gam.
I intend to.
Okay, are we all set?
let's head on in. Let's clarify what we want here. We just want a location of Iveto, any local legends, myths, that kind of stuff. Is there anything else you guys think we should be asking about?
How difficult the climb is?
Oh, climbing gear. Any sort of mountain survival gear. Good call. All right, I think that's probably good. Let us be off then.
Yeah. It's about like mid-afternoon by the time you get to the town. It's small and yeah, it's small, bigger than Tokskog. Definitely, you see that there's one small strip of it looks like stores and an inn, and a like, you know, maybe 4 or 5 functioning towns. A good place to eat. Just a second. Sorry, there's like a weird chirping.
That was the bird, I think, in the music.
Oh. You can stay like this.
Oh,
Yeah.
I meant as the horse.
Oh, I saw her.
That wasn't a joke.
I was confused. Yeah, and you find yourselves near the port city when you choose to take your horse form. It's short, it's small again, and there are birds squawking in the ear of the DM. And yeah, it is called called Ozco Port. Ozco. We'll just call it that.
Cool.
Yeah, the town is not huge. It's not, but it's not in disrepair. It seems like you see a cart, kind of tied up with horses in front of what looks like a general store.
Yeah, so I'll just basically go to if there's like a town crier or like a tavern, the usual information gathering places to sort of gather as much info as possible.
All right. You find yourselves at there's definitely not a town crier. It's like, you know, you'd just be walking 2 feet and probably get punched at one point. But you see the sign for Ravenfall Tavern.
Cool. So I'll walk into the Ravenfall Tavern and sort of just eyes peeled for anybody who looks important or anybody that sticks out, besides the bartender.
The bartender kind of leans forward. Hello.
Hey there.
Welcome.
Thank you. We are travelers, and we were looking for sort of information on the Red Sisters Peaks. We're planning on traveling up into them and doing some exploration.
Exploration. Seems not many people are doing that these days. Do you have climbing equipment? Furs?
No, we do have we definitely will need be needing some
We do have
furs
furs.
and climbing.
We do have. Furs.
Oh yes, we do have
Don't
some
the
from
one
the
that's more
yes,
than
yeah,
place?
from the Frost
let me
Bears
s-
halflings. We got them from that's
Let me see them.
and we show them the furs
You'll need something
heavier.
warmer than that.
Cool.
Gets cold as you go up, and you have to watch for the local wild animals,
Oh yes, what should we be expecting up there?
like the yetis, the bears. They say of one sort of creature, gray skin, with the face of a bull, almost like it's made of stone. Never seen one myself, but it's said to petrify people who get in its way.
Oof, well, that's no good. We'll definitely be on the lookout for that.
And there's some folks who settle in the mountains and don't take kindly to new people.
That's always fun. Has there been any other strange going-ons around here? I feel like there are strange going-ons everywhere these days.
Other than the lack of people coming through, we used to be a bustling area. Now we're down to what you see here.
No sort of chain noises or anything like that.
Haven't heard complaints of that in quite some time.
But there were complaints.
Not from around here. Complaints by travelers. The other parts of the island have them.
Branch just sort of like nods in understanding. So furs, yetis, bears, other dangers in there. You have any maps of the mountains? Any sort of tales and such?
Oh.
You okay?
Yeah, that's my chair. Not hurt or anything. Sorry. Continue.
I might have a story or two. And he looks over at the kind of tip jar.
Sure, I'll put a couple silver in. We'll put in 2 silver for now.
And anything to drink. He looks at the 3 of you.
Europe will be wanting your strongest fire water, I'm betting.
Gam says, I would like a glass of your finest slug juice. If fermented, if you have it. The bartender looks absolutely
Just like a
baffled.
blank stare? Yeah, okay.
Korka says in a voice that no one's heard before, y'all got bird seed?
I don't hear any of this, right? I'm presumably tied outside.
I thought you. Oh yeah, you're a warhorse. Roll a perception check, Birchfruit. Let's see.
Oh wow.
Damn.
I don't need these right now.
Well, you needed the first one, sure. You definitely hear that.
Okay, we're gonna talk about whoever that was later.
He nods and actually provides you with a little bit of seed. Your folk used to come here quite often. It's refreshing to see one of you out and about.
Korka, wait, so am I looking around? Have I not seen any Kenku? Always been around?
You saw some? Well, this is a pretty rural city. village, really. You saw some as like servants in Mirdad. You saw some in you definitely saw some in Elysia, in like, you know, uh like, what do you call it, in servant positions. You know, you don't know many Kenku who can work up the ladder.
Got you. Got you. Okay, cool. I'm gonna stare at him inquisitively as I like do the bird knocking thing of eating the seeds.
You see Karoka putting his head in the jar, and little bits of birdseed fly everywhere. He's like, the bartender just simply takes his the rag off his shoulder and wipes down the bar. We didn't have many settlers here, but we used to have a few more people coming through. Adventurers, mostly from far off lands, farther from even across the sea, from the from tropical islands and warm places that I'd never heard about or learned about. But one day they just stopped coming. I don't know what happened. I try to mind my own business, but quite a few people who promised to return never quite came back. Sorry, I'm trying to look up something real quick. Oh well, it doesn't matter. He describes some other places in, just like Wildaria, the place, like the realm you live in, and he looks off for a moment and slowly pours another drink for each of you. Be another 2 silver.
Cool.
Kroka throws it in this time.
So, what do you want to know?
Well, mainly we're looking for any stories about. Do we know the city is called Avedo? Or is that known?
No.
We're looking about any stories about the Red Keep specifically, where it might be located, any dangers that might still be left there, that kind of stuff.
The Red Keep? Never heard of it. So the travelers who came and went took a lot of hiking gear and warned of the difficulty it is to get past even the first trials. It seems protected by not just from what I heard back then, it didn't seem just protected by physical height of the peaks, but also something magical.
Any tips, tricks, or cheat codes you can give us?
Left. The Konami.
Yeah, the Konami code, yeah. Up, down,
Ask
left,
them
right,
if
left,
any
right.
of the previous adventurers left their stuff there. Like, you know how sometimes people leave their phone chargers in hotel rooms?
You. Oh, you're not there. Birchfruit.
Oh yeah. Well, that was a joke anyway, so...
You hear just a neighing from outside.
But you know, as much as I heard of the warnings of the keep. My sister, Hilda, cooking pot, at the general store might have some more memories. At the Solitude front. He, just 2 doors down.
Excellent, thank you. And I'll finish my drink, and we'll head that way if he doesn't have anything else that he knows.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't seem to have like much more information than to the warnings, and yeah.
Thank you. We'll talk to Hildy. We appreciate the help.
Hilda.
Hilda.
It's like Portia.
Yeah.
Right.
Porsche. No. Yeah, Hilda.
All right, and we head there. We agree.
All right.
So we do it, and I make sure that my horse Birchfruit gets some nice oats.
Oh yeah. Before you leave, Gam is staring very intently at him, and he takes a sip of the ale that he just poured him. This is the worst. This is the worst fermented slug juice I've ever had. And he continues to drink it, staring very intensely at this gentleman who you did not get the name of.
Intentionally.
Intentionally, yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm just letting you know. Yeah.
You know that lady's name though.
Yeah. Now we have to be attached.
She's and you
I
arrive.
don't.
You arrive and she's dead. No.
You hear
It's
chains.
Yeah, the chains of regret. Yeah, you go into the convenience store or the outpost. You see a tall, dwarven woman, like tall for a dwarf, dwarven woman with very neatly braided hair, simple clothes, a little bit of dust on her cheek, and looks like she's drinking a mug of something warm, and she's reading a book. And as you come in, she nods. Welcome. You break anything, you buy it. And there are little wares everywhere, like general supply store. There's some home goods, sort of like last minute cleaning product or something. Fantasy paper towels. The rest is pretty. Looks like there is adventuring gear, and what you would find in like a general. What is it? The PHB like general area, like. Stuff
Yep.
like that.
I'll wander over to her and I'll say, "Hi, you're Hilda, right?
Why, yes, I am.
Your brother over at the inn sent us to you. We are looking for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Does Inky need furs? Is a good question. We'll get.
We do still have furs.
Right, but he said they were
from
bad.
a while back, from the last time we were in these mountains.
You're not there.
He said they were bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he said you'll
He
need
did say they
thicker.
were bad.
He said you'll need thicker furs
I
to
wasn't
survive
here when
these
you were-
red peaks.
Nah, he's trying to upsell you.
Probably, but I'll say, we're looking for furs. Do you think these will do for traveling in the mountains? And I'll insight check her as I do it. And I'll sort of ascertain whether she's trying to upsell me as I hear Birchfruit in the background.
You hear him just like stamping frantically, like and angrily. Why? There's someone's horse out there that's not very happy. One of yours?
Yeah, he's never happy.
She
Unless he's
He's
pulls
super
out her
into budgets,
crossbow.
his horse.
No, she pulls out her crossbow.
Bargains.
I'll take care of him.
Yeah, thank you, perfect.
Uh, well, what, let me check these, furs. She takes a good, look at them. Now, how far up are you thinking about going?
We were hoping to find the Red Keep if possible, but I know that's sort of not an easily travelable location, if locatable at all. We're basically doing some exploring up there. I'm assuming it's going to be near the highest or something close to it.
Red Keep.
I've heard that name
Doesn't-
in years. No, I'm just kidding.
I've heard of it through whispers, but no one's talked about it in quite some time. She checks out the furs. She's, inspecting. You'll definitely at least another. It might provide cold resistance, but if you want to take that chance, you're certainly welcome to.
Aha!
She looks at your furs for a long minute. You will definitely need another layer or two. And you don't know her very well, but it doesn't seem like she's. You asked her for her professional opinion, and
She
it
seems
doesn't
genuine.
seem like.
Cool.
Yeah, she seems genuine. It's moving. Okay.
Awesome. We'll also need some climbing gear, if you have that, for however many.
So
We're what, 6 of us?
the furs will just be 2 silver pieces, a pelt, and one for each person. So that'll run you a gold. A climber's kit. That is 30 gold.
Per person?
A climber's kit. She kind of gathers the stuff. She grabs special pittons, boot tips, gloves, and a harness. You can use climber's kit as an action to anchor yourself when you can't fall more than 25 feet from the point where you anchored yourself, and you can't climb more than 25 feet away from the point without undoing the anchor.
So wait, just so I'm clear, we're expected to each buy a climber's kit for 30 gold?
If we want to survive this climb, it's pretty likely.
For that entire kit, it is that. If you think that you would like something different, or if you would not like to get it, there's no, it's up to you. It's really...
I got slow fall. I'm okay.
Oh yeah, you're a monk. Yeah, that's true.
I'll pay. I'll drop 2 gold for everyone's furs.
Okay, cool. Well, I think we only need. Well, it's only 1 gold total, so if you want to just mark off 1 gold.
Cool. I will give 1 gold for everyone's furs.
I bought my climber's kit. Do you have enough money for yours, Birch Fruit? Out of character.
Yeah, I'll just pay
what
you
I
back.
know. Okay, cool.
I could definitely.
Cool.
pay
So
that.
just mark off 30 there, and I'll say I paid for it in there. Does Yurik have enough money? Do we know? I'm assuming so.
I would assume he would be able to purchase one.
Okay. Gom, at this point, I gotta say, are you climbing up the mountain with us, or are you okay to stay in town here, or are you safe enough here? What's your plan?
I do not know my purpose for why I'm here.
Out of character,
He blinks at you.
this guy is pretty mysterious and sort of showed up. I'm assuming.
He was in. He was wrapped up, and being dragged unconscious by a barbed devil. He remembers. I'm sure the party informed you. He does not remember what had happened. He was at his niece's birthday party. He looked up, devils infiltrated, and the next thing he knew, he was with you guys.
Yeah,
There
out
would-
of character, we did discuss beforehand that we'd ask about getting supplies, so I figure we worked out that we should probably pay for this guy's
All right.
stuff.
I'll mark
as
off
well.
30 gold for him as well.
We can split it if you
Yes,
want.
for now I'll mark it up. Well, okay, we'll do 15 apiece. That works. I'll put mine back up to
Okay.
45. All right, Gom, we got your kit. We got your furs. Yurik bought his kit. I think we're good to go. Good question. This is sort of an out of character question. Can Inky climb?
That doesn't have a climbing speed.
Neither do we, though.
Probably
Roll
a pretty big
a
guy.
roll a
Oh, it's a large
nature
beast.
check. Roll a nature check on. I believe we said that just for the purposes of ease, Inky's medium beast, she kind of shrank just for
Okay,
ease
so
purposes. Okay. You get the feeling that she is probably more capable of climbing than the five of you are, so you shouldn't worry too much.
Cool. So we're not worried about it. Perfect. All right, and then I think that's everybody, right? We've all paid for our stuff, and then I'll just turn to her and say, your brother also mentioned you may have some stories or leftover advice from past adventures going up into these mountains.
Sure. She's collecting your gold. Gam is staring intently at her, and and he whispers to you, Brennick, what is this trading of useless rocks to this stranger?
So Brennick will launch into a long explanation of how currency works and how the gold has sort of a value that we artificially put into it for sort of the specific point of trading goods and services as a sort of a standard currency. So you don't have to have like a barrel of ale to trade to your buddy to get the broom you need or whatever. So now Gom knows about currency because I told him about it.
He looks over at Kuroka. He seems to have long answers for questions, doesn't he?
Moo.
That means yes, we think.
Interesting. You sound just like a land beast of grazing nature. All right. Yeah, she laughs a little bit. I don't know what the Red Keep is, but I definitely have some stories of travelers that came by here. They purchased similar supplies. Some of them enjoyed my homemade jerky. She like turns and motions to this wall of like jerky. And many who passed through here came back alive or went on their way a different way. I never traveled there myself, though I am much more familiar with the peaks than my brother. This is not the voice I chose. I could tell you that the mountains are steep, as you have found, and to take your pace and not expect to go as fast as you would running or walking. And that you may be prone to falling into some sort of pit if you're not careful, or ravine, I guess. Ravine. The other thing is it's easy to get lost, especially if a snowstorm. Have you any tents or shelter prepared?
We do have some shelter of magical nature, yes.
Good. Be careful if you're too tired to get the magical means. Staying out there overnight is surely a danger. Exposed is surely a danger. I think that any good person who puts up a keep or a place that they don't want many people to find at least have a code, a code for the people they do want to find to help guide them. And if I knew the travelers that came through here, I know that they would, I would hope that they would have used a code that would still be around through all these years. Maybe look for a symbol or a familiarity that you know of the travelers and look for it that way. But I hope this helps.
Yeah, it does immensely. We'll definitely be on the lookout for a code or a common theme. We really appreciate it.
I wish I had more help to give you, but as I said, I haven't been there. But I know the mountains well. I've traveled in them a little bit here and there, and be warm, because the cold can certainly make the journey seem longer. And we have lost quite a few people who were as brave as you, but maybe not as prepared.
Understood. We'll do the best we can.
Thermos of hot cocoa?
Sure, I'm sure I'll need a thermos to warm some snow for water while we're up there as well. Why not?
She reaches under her her desk and pulls out a magically enhanced like wineskin. She offers each of the three of you a cup and pours something like brown and clumpy in each of your things. It looks like maybe a little bit like yerba mate. It smells not that great. And Yam takes a sip. This tastes exactly like slug.
And all of us grimace and we go, ugh, as the scene fades to black.
It's pretty earthy, and as you take a sip, it's warm. It's actually, the stuff is warm. She winks at you, magically enhanced to keep whatever you put in there warm. I ripped you off a little bit. It's cute you don't bargain. And she smiles at each of you. You can keep this for free.
She gives us the warming wineskin. Oh, fuck yeah. The wineskin of warming.
You have enough, you have tinder boxes and things to make a fire at night?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess.
They come with our normal kits, I assume, yeah.
Safe travels and hope to see you through here again.
We hope to be back. Thank you for your help.
We have an inn if you want to stay for the night. The inn between the building between me and my brothers, owned by his horrible ex-wife.
There are only 3 buildings.
There are 5. If you decide to bed for the night or your journey.
Yeah, let's go grab a nap. And the last time we'll sleep in a bed for a while.
Yeah. Oh, you definitely see like these spell scrolls that are like one night in a tent, like not guaranteed to work. Brennick, as you look, and it's definitely like Leomund's tiny hut, like, but you know, not everyone can cast it. It's like not guaranteed to work. You see like a spell scroll for the mansion. It, you know, the, what do you call it?
Oh yeah,
mansion.
Yeah, Mordekainen's magnificent mansion. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's very expensive. Yeah. All right. The building in the middle is called the, oh god, what the fuck was it called? The woodcutter and the
Oh, hold on. Are we
and the
staying
lady.
here for the night?
Yeah, may as well.
Because I cannot horse for that.
You can
long.
just come inside at this point. I think we're okay. Or you can fly. Use your second B shape to. I'll come out to you. I'll say, use your second B shape to.
No, I can't use anything that has a flying speed.
That can climb up to our window.
He just becomes a pigeon.
And just like
He's,
hops
like,
around.
walking.
Okay, hold on.
He spends the next
Check
6
the beach
hours
ships again.
climbing.
Just become a badger or something, or a squirrel.
Yeah, I'll find an alley to duck behind and turn into a rat and find my way to like the outskirts of town so I can set up my little camp.
We could literally just stuff you in my pocket and bring you into the room if you turn to a bug, I say to the horse.
Oh yeah. Okay, I turn into a rat. You can do that too, right?
If as long as a tiny rat, a big rat in my pocket is not gonna do so. It's not gonna do so great.
A mouse.
Perfect.
Mouse isn't in the list, but I assume I can turn into a mouse.
Yeah, you can definitely turn into a mouse. You turn into a mouse, you walk, yeah, and you see that the building in between, it's like this, well-kept log, building, and there's intricate, like, beautifully written script of the woodcutter and the lady, and you see the woodcutter is carved out with two, like scratched out with some sort of something. Looks like it's been tried to be crossed out, but it still clearly reads the woodcutter. And yeah, a woman is standing behind. She nods at you.
Hello, we're just looking to stay the night, and then before we head up into the mountains.
Okay.
Hello, love.
Hello. No. I'm half troll.
Yeah. I'm actually a hag, but not by the monster standards, just a human standard.
Yeah, that's her voice now. She oh, visitor! Can't get out of it.
Yeah, it's too late. We're committed.
Hello. Hello, hello. You want a room? Get in here. Here's fucking the room.
We do it. We get in there. We get in the room and we sleep.
It's it's 5 silver per room.
We get one room and we all stay in the same room and we cuddle.
Yeah. All right. You get a nice. It's probably your last home cooked meal for a while, and yeah. In the morning, I was gonna do like cool little Easter eggs, but nope. I ruined it.
He's like with the voice. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. She's yeah. Get it. All right. Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'm the woodcutter. He's the lady. It's a twist. No. You don't want to know my name.
No, we're okay. Bye. Nice to meet you. Bye. You sure you don't want some of my porridge? Some breakfast for the guests?
Here's some food. She's just throwing it at you.
So these were probably the fastest transactions you ever performed, right?
Yeah.
Hey, hi. Okay, bye.
Yeah, she's cool. I mean, if you want to ask her anything, she's there. Yeah. Otherwise, we can forward on.
Fast travel. Click.
Yeah. Ben is not enjoying this.
He's dying.
I didn't see him laughing. I think it green froze for me because he was just like
He's
this.
just sitting back. No, he's not breathing. He's like.
Now I can see him laughing. Good boy, come back here again. Okay, so worst NPC I've ever created is gone now. She's dead. I killed her. You didn't learn
We
her
should
name.
introduce ourselves to everyone now.
The
To
sound
kill
of
this one person.
All right. Yeah. And you're off. You don't. You see like one other. It looks like one other traveling party. In the inn in the morning. But they leave real fast because what the fuck is that voice?
Yeah, oddly enough, the tavern is really desolate. And people eat their breakfast and they are out.
Oh, for some reason they don't like staying. All right. Ooh, I hurt my voice doing that.
Oh no.
What a tragedy. I guess you'll never have to do it again.
Oh, you'll never hear this voice. All right. So, yeah, you get to the peaks. You begin to scale them up. Scale up them. They're yeah, they're definitely so. As you stand at the base of the mountain, you see just how intimidating they are. They're steep, and at first there is a path that will lead you up, but you definitely get the feeling that you are not. You're going in pretty blind. But from the descriptions that that were given, you're not quite sure anyone could exactly tell you where it is. Maybe there is someone, but like not in the town. Yeah. Is there anything you would like to do before you begin?
I think we're good. Oh yeah, Birchroot, you have Goodberry, right?
Is a cantrip?
No, it's a first level spell. Well, you can swap it anyway.
I can put it in, yeah.
So we'll have rations regardless, as long as you have a spell slot, which is good. We have furs. I have prestidigitation. I have comprehend language, in case we run into anything up there. Tiny hut, sending, revivify. No, I think we're good.
Alright. Do you have your diamond for Revivify?
Yeah, I do have the diamonds, yeah. It's just a bunch of smaller diamonds that total 300 gold.
I just got part of Critical Role, like the second season, where Laura found out she needed the diamonds.
Yep.
Oh god, it's so funny.
Yeah, I definitely have. I have one set of them. I don't have enough cash for more than that, so I got one set. We have one extra life. Actually, let's actually clarify this now. Are we doing? If a character were to die, are we doing the Critical Role Fading Spirit rules, or are we just doing base D&D where I touch them and they get back up?
What would you guys prefer to do?
I have no idea what Fading Spirit means.
I think let's cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay, sure. I guess.
Okay, yeah, I'll send it to you, Ben. But basically, each in your three teammates would be able to plead for your spirit if your spirit wants to come back and roll, and based on their rolls it's whether
it'll lower the DC for it.
Yeah, it'll lower the DC for you to be able to come back.
And then
but in order to make that happen, we still need somebody to be able to resurrect, right?
Yeah, I have Revivify.
And Brennick can. Yeah.
Actually, I'm looking through. I actually have a scroll of Revivify too, which I think is interesting. I completely forgot I had that.
Would we still need the diamonds for a scroll, or is that consumed in the crafting of the scroll? Okay, cool.
Yeah. I would assume that you yeah. But you have one.
Basically, it's do you want death to be slightly scary, or do you want death to be not scary at all? Is essentially the question. Because D&D based Revivify rules are I touch you and you get back up because you're alive again. Whereas Revivify in Fading Spirit rules, I have to roll a spellcasting modifier check, and I would have to roll like a 7 or above to get you back up, something like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. We'll think about it. We'll talk about it more.
Yep. Cool.
Unfortunately, Varus didn't have a chance.
Yeah, no Revivify level 2 or 3.
If you'd all just taken a long rest, we'd all be talking to Varus still. All right. Yeah, you.
He's the guy that dies in chapter 1 of every Song of Ice and Fire book.
Yeah, he's the Ned Stark. Everyone's like, oh, Varys, cool, sick. He's like a lore guy, intelligent, smart, really old, so he's got to be experienced. Dies to Wyvern.
The best part was like how well Wayne rolled for that character too, and he spent like so long on the character, you know, because he always plays so early. And like I was so excited, and then I immediately killed him. Immediately. Okay. R.I.P.
Rest in peace. I still have his shit, by the way. I still have his wand and his book. If you want to ever become a wizard, I have some shit for you. But yeah, we're in the mountains. We are traveling. Christine, we can't hear you. But yeah, we're in the mountains. We're traveling. Brennick's gonna have to climb shit, and he's very bad at that. Not like super bad. He's better than the normal person, but he's not good.
Wait, you're probably the worst at that, right?
I have a +1 to. Oh no, I'm actually trained in athletics. Never mind. I'm actually okay at this.
Oh.
Yeah.
So under
not
his
too bad.
robes, Brennick's just like got some wiry muscle.
'Cause
Yeah.
I can throw out some enhanced abilities.
I have a +4
Kuroko's-
out of character, +4 athletics.
So Kuroko's not athletic, but he's very acrobatic. I don't know if that means anything.
I would say that, like, depending on what happens, like, climbing and stuff, I think it could be either, like, acrobatics or athletics, depending on what you would prefer to use. There are times when, you know, it's pretty strict, but, like, if you slip on a rock, sometimes you're strong enough to catch yourself, or maybe you're just agile enough, you know, like, yeah.
Cool.
My mic got unplugged, that's why I was stalling for a second.
Fired.
We'll do the first leg
Thanks.
without assistance. Then we'll see what we need later.
Okay. I need everyone to roll a survival check.
Hey, lit. Let's go.
Oof. Brannick, you like no.
I've read about
You're,
mountains before, especially these mountains.
And then you see the trail sign. No. All right. Yeah, so you are easily between the three of you, you're easily able to find a trail head. It looks like the only way to go up the mountain so far. Everything else looks like you would have to literally scale it like a legitimate rock climber. And Brennick, you I'm gonna say that natural 20 will help you in the future, just because otherwise it's like, I know how to walk real good. But you do get the idea for each of you to at one point decide to put pittons on your shoes as you feel the ground. It doesn't feel icy and snowy yet. Icy yet, but you can tell that it will be at one point.
Basically,
get the feeling that traveling.
we put the spikes on our shoes early because I realize, hey, shit's about to get slippery. Something like that.
Yeah.
We put our spiked shoes
Like,
on.
you're like, okay, like right now we don't need them, but we're definitely gonna need these pittons. Like soon.
Cool.
And yeah, putting on your extra furs right now, you're like, God damn it, DM, why did you encourage me to get these? It's a little like, it's not too cold. The furs that you had before are fine. But Birchfruit, as you look up in the sky and try to follow the stars, like the night before you went out, kind of took a look at the stars, how Esme taught you, you see that it seems that bad weather is afoot. Yeah. You kind of see like a ring around the moon, and the feel of the air, and between your knowledge of the stars and your training as a druid, yeah. And Kroka, you are a monk.
Does it look like it might clear up in the next day or like the
It
next
looks like-
couple days?
It hasn't started yet, but it's on its way.
Okay.
Like
I guess
weather.
just fair warning
yeah.
to the group. This might
Yeah.
be bad. Soon. So let's get a move on.
Gam puts on his furs and says, we should have gotten some of that slug juice for the road. It's very good. I can teach you all to ferment it if you need it.
What? Okay.
I'm giving him the fuck you stare because he literally complained about how bad that slug juice was.
Well,
No, he said
he hated the ale.
hot chocolates that tasted
He liked
like
the the nasty hot chocolate.
Wait, was it nasty?
It was like earthy and like, you know.
It's like yerba mate-y. Like, it's not
Oh.
really chocolatey. It's not sweet. It's like, yeah.
It's like warm dirt. You're drinking warm dirt.
If we find the acid of a toad, we could definitely ferment this.
Didn't you just say? Gum, look, I don't understand.
Yeah, you need the worms. You fermented in toad acid.
Toad makes worm stuff, or is it a similar
Slugs.
thing? Okay, sorry.
Worms. Oh, my people don't eat worms.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insinuate
Oh,
that.
you're above the worms. Okay.
No, they're just hard to find in the desert.
But the slugs are easy to find. Okay, but the toads are harder to find in the desert, I assume, since they're wet.
When you're
No,
along
frogs
the...
are wet. Toads, not necessarily.
Oh, I apologize. You're right.
Yes, we have some desert toad. And the slugs you catch in the rainfall, and he begins to tell you how the best methods of catching slugs where he's from.
And Brennick takes notes with his cold thingies.
So good. Yeah, he and as you walk, Gam sort of looks very interested in the snow and asking you questions about what this is and how it is. And finally he says, I've are you familiar with my race? The people.
Yeah, I guess at this point, do I roll an intelligence check? Do we know? I assume not, given what I know out of character.
Yeah,
I think
go
I
ahead.
rolled well on a history check last game. So
Yeah, so okay, so what information you got, Birchfruit, is that you aren't really from the island. You don't really know much about Githzari on the island, but you do know that they are associated with different planes and they can shift in and out of them. And he told you that his people kind of stay in the desert of Rolokar.
right.
Yeah. And then so Brennick, you can roll a general intelligence check.
Sure.
Just to see if Brennick is also familiar with them. You have read in history a little bit about them in the scope of the island. They're quiet. They keep to themselves mostly. The legends that you heard sort of don't say much about their day-to-day life, but they haven't really been involved in wars, and they keep to themselves mostly. They're not known as a violent race,
Sure. So
but also like the legends aren't very.
they don't get super
Alright,
descriptive.
Yeah.
I say, well, I've read a lot of books, Gum, and I'd like to pride myself on my knowledge of at least this island, if nothing else. And What little I've read, you're not violent, but you don't make waves as far as I know. You're very quiet as a people, and that's sort of the long and short of it. There's obviously smaller details in there, but it's not worth mentioning. So I'm interested in learning from you. You seem pretty open in teaching us, given your slug juice speech, and I'm certainly willing to learn.
I've killed many slugs. We I am what you would call an older person, humanoid. I've been around this orb for quite some time. Many circles. I don't know. Fucking. Why am I talking like that? And I have my family is large and numerous. But a while we used to be able to shift from our realm to another. We could go in and out. We could travel from where we wanted to other places, like Heightened Car, or he begins describing places that I've forgotten the names of that are not in on the. But some time ago, this ability that that I was inherently born with, seems to have broken, or something that was once a part of my blood is no longer.
This is the traveling between planes ability.
Yes, the the ability to visit the world beyond this one, and there is not just one. There are many worlds beyond this one. It stopped. It was a violent tear of my very being, and I watched many of my family attempt to cross again, only to be met with pain, insanity, and sometimes even loss of life. But we found a spot, a small pocket where we could relieve ourselves from this plane for short periods of time. And it was our place. We don't have a land anymore now without this ability, which is why we keep to ourselves and don't make ourselves known unless we must.
So you settled in Rolakar when you discovered that you couldn't travel between planes anymore.
I mean, we didn't settle, we continued to move. We continued to wander, but there was a certain spot that we found we could still shift between the planes, and we could have our own little pocket of just our own. And what troubles me most is we were in that pocket when I was ripped from my family.
You weren't on this plane.
No,
Oh.
none of us were. We Githari tend to party very loud and for many, many hours. And my niece becoming of age was a great event that, as her father was the leader of my brother and his wife was the leader of our tribe. and so she would be inheriting it, and it was a great celebration. And she is
Lots of fermented slug.
so many barrels of fermented slug, as well as the sweat of a rhinoceros and the blood of a dinosaur. The highest, the highest treats known to us on this plane. And so it is why my memory did not me at first, because I sort of was not aware. It took a minute for my memory to reach me. So, that is what you should know. His face does not change as he's telling the story, and he's very stoic as he says it. And matter of fact.
This might be a loaded question, but I guess there's an infernal plane, right? Or what is it called?
Ethereal. Or astral for them.
Yeah, but where the demons come from?
Oh yeah,
Or devils.
The Nine Hells.
Nine Hells and the Infernal.
Yeah. Have your people ever traveled to the Nine Hells or the Abyss?
No, we do not care for demons or devils. Bad experience, as you know.
Right.
We try to stay in our own pockets, so we do not trust many. And I must tell each of you that I do not trust you. But you seem to not immediately kill me or immediately try to poison me, so except back there, that man I definitely will poison. That man who gave me that whatever that drink was. No, sorry. But I do not know if I can trust you, and but I will travel with you, and I promise to do the courtesy of not striking against you as long as you do not strike against me.
Do I believe him?
Roll an insight check. He's hard to read as usual, but you believe him, and you do kind of worry of what he says about the poisoning the guy who gave him ale.
I mean, I wasn't drinking it, obviously, but was it even good ale for ale?
It was fine to me. I don't know. It seemed fine.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about poisoning that guy, but you know, while you're traveling with us, I hope we can earn your trust.
May you reach your goals. And may I reach mine. And may our goals not clash. He holds out his hand. I believe this is what you do in your plane.
I grab his hand and shake it.
He, then he takes it back and he gives you a bow. Then it is agreed. And I thank you. You do not need to take me up with you.
Alright, let's get going.
And you continue on. I assume that you walked this whole way, but and as you stand at the base of what looks like an intimidating climb, about 4 hours in to your walk, you see the peaks, the snow falling down slowly and the wind in your hair, the fresh mountain air stings slightly but feels good after all these cities. And you look for a sign, any sign, that people or creatures were here before. And as you look in the distance, that is where we will end for tonight.
We're climbing the mountain.
Climbing, climbing, climbing.
Awesome. Thank you, Christine.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for doing 2 short sessions, but we'll be back in it. We'll try for 2 weeks now.
Would
Was
this
this was a
actually
makeup
be better
or
for you? Because we did 2 weeks in a row, but they were short, right?
Well, this was a makeup because and it'll be good. I just was the last 2 weeks have been really, really hectic for us, but
Right.
we'll be our schedule's returning to normal next week. So
Yeah, I mean,
So you still feel like the every 2 weeks works better?
how is it working for you guys?
I'm free on Thursdays either way.
Okay.
I think it can be sort of like a feel it out every week kind of thing if we
Yeah.
need to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we miss a good amount of sessions, so I feel like making it up when we can isn't always bad, even if it's just a short
Yeah.
you gather your supplies, you buy your shit, you start climbing the mountain, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of what either last week, I was and then I need next week off just to gather everything for the next leg of the journey. I've been spending a lot of time on this. But we'll see, because I do think that trying to meet every week is really helpful for this campaign, because Thursdays are hard, I think, for everyone. But yeah, actually the Tuesday game has not been happening as often, so now now I got to get that in check.
Yeah, because you have more people to
Is
try to
that-
coordinate.
Is that
Yeah.
Horde of the Dragon Queen?
Yeah, hot DQ,
Yeah.
baby.
How far in are you guys?
We are...
We just finished the
Yeah,
caravan.
exactly.
You're almost done with the caravan.
Almost.
Okay, alright, cool. That's actually right, yeah,
When
'cause
you
I finished
quit?
Horde of the Dragon Queen. No,
Oh.
no, we were in Rise of Tiamat when I left the group.
Ah,
Yeah.
yeah. You looking to pick up another game?
I mean, if you need people, but it sounds like that one's full. Christine,
Yeah.
you're good for next Sunday, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Ow.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just try to meet
2
in
weeks,
2
yeah.
weeks, and then we'll try every week after that, just to we'll see who's playing and who's not, because I feel like the weeks that they've been kind of falling out, but yeah. And then we will begin our ascent.
Sounds good. 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, and you have a cool ally now.
I don't know the guy. He seems alright, I guess. Is he strong, guys? Did he do anything during a fight, or was he just unconscious?
No, he was unconscious.
Yeah.
We beat the crap out of the guy.
I'm glad I was there to help.
I mean, you're still in the party, so clearly it's not about strength.
Brennick, did you give us an inspiring speech at any point?
Yeah, I think it's assumed at this point that Brennick's just constantly babbling at you guys, so...
Yeah.
Cool.
This one will probably be about one story I listened to at one time about the people who climbed the Red Sisters Peaks, and they slayed 16 Yetis and came back down, that kind of stuff.
Cool.
The only time I'm gonna be oh, you probably didn't get this speech, is if you're knocked unconscious at one point or something, that.
Or for whatever reason we're separated
yeah.
for more than a
Exactly.
day.
Yeah.
I'm usually
'cause-
pretty good with saying I do the thing, but yeah, it's assumed. I
Yeah.
feel like.
No, that's good. I mean, I appreciate it too, because sometimes, no one I don't think anyone is trying to cheat or anything, but sometimes it's oh, but I always do that. It's nah.
Also, Christine, we're not anywhere close to leveling, right? Because we moved to event-based, or what was it? Milestone?
Correct. Yeah, I have an idea of when you'll be, but it is not.
No, we
Not
we
right
were
now.
at 5 for a year, so we've got some time
good
to get to
point.
7.
We don't get XP for watching everyone we talk to die.
Yeah, that's true.
So you will probably be leveling to 6 sooner than you level to 5 because like I've gotten
Wait,
the
are
miles.
We are 6.
No, we are
Yeah.
6.
Yeah.
Or
So we're
sorry,
leveling
to
to
7 faster than you leveled to 6 because you were at 5 for so long, and that was like my fault. But we'll you know, it'll start to even itself out because the other campaign too is like kind of fucked up right now. But I'll fix it. Don't worry, everyone. I'll fix it.
No worries.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Thank you.
Alright. Peace
And
out,
just to let you
Costco.
know, if you search Yeti in the Google, the first thing that comes up is Yeti pubes.
Ah, sexy. I love it.
Wait, what?
Don't know what my Google does anymore.
Yeah, I don't know because I just did it and I just got a bunch of pictures of Yetis. I did not get any Yeti.
I think
cubes,
you should
so
talk to
No.
Anthony about what you just found in your search bar.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
Seems like
'cause-
a very specific
That's how you
problem.
learn things about your husband when you type Yeti and you see. A
Oh
bunch
my
of
God.
cubes.
That's actually what he's doing right now. He's jerking
I
off to Yeti
love
pubes.
Yetis. Ah. And that's where we'll end the
Welcome to our
stream, folks.
stream.
Jesus Christ! All right.
Good night,
Guys.
everybody.
Have a good.